Welcome to Knowledge Hub, where curiosity meets discovery. Dive into a world of fascinating facts, mind-blowing science, and the secrets behind everyday wonders. Get ready to expand your mind and explore topics that spark your imagination. Let's unlock the knowledge together. I've always had a passion for travel, but nothing prepared me for the adventure that awaited me in the Amazon jungle. It all started when I met Marx, a fellow wanderer with an insatiable curiosity, and Kevin, a photographer whose eye for detail brought the wild to life through his lens. We bonded over our shared love for exploration, and soon enough, we found ourselves drawn into a whirlwind of excitement after meeting a mysterious stranger named Carl. Carl claimed he had insider knowledge about a hidden Indian tribe deep in the jungle. He pulled out a weathered map, tracing a route that promised to take us 3 to 4 days through some of the most uncharted territory. The thrill of the unknown was intoxicating. We decided to embark on this journey together, unaware of the challenges that lay ahead. The jungle was alive with sounds, chirping insects, rustling leaves, and the distant calls of exotic birds. But it wasn't long before we faced our first hurdle, the relentless insect bites. I swear, those little critters had a personal vendetta against us. We slathered on repellent, but it only seemed to fuel their appetite. Each bite was a reminder that we were intruders in their world. As we trekked deeper into the jungle, the weather turned against us. Heavy rain poured down, soaking us to the bone. We huddled under makeshift shelters, laughing at our predicament, but the jungle had a way of testing our spirits. Each step became a battle against the mud, and we quickly learned that the Amazon doesn't give up its secrets easily. After days of navigating through dense foliage and overcoming our fears, we finally reached a clearing near a village. The locals welcomed us with open arms, their smiles warm and inviting. It felt like we had crossed into another realm, one where time stood still. We shared stories, laughter, and food, feeling a sense of connection that transcended language. But then came the moment that would test our friendship. Carl, driven by his own motives, decided to hunt a monkey. The tension in the air was palpable. Marx and I exchanged uneasy glances, unsure of how to react. The locals watched silently, their expressions unreadable. It was a stark reminder that our values didn't always align with those of the jungle. In that moment, I realized that this journey was about more than just adventure. It was about understanding the delicate balance between nature and humanity. As we sat around the fire that night, I reflected on the bonds we had formed and the lessons we had learned. The jungle had opened our eyes, and I knew this experience would stay with me forever.
I never thought a simple trip would turn into a fight for survival. It all started when Marx injured his feet. We were supposed to be a team, but that injury split us apart. Carl and Marx decided to travel on foot, while Yossi and I took the boat. I remember the excitement of setting off, the water glistening under the sun, but that excitement quickly turned into chaos. The storm came out of nowhere. One moment, we were navigating the waves, and the next, we were capsized. I fought to stay afloat, but the currents were relentless. When I finally managed to get to shore, I looked around, heart pounding, and realized Yossi was gone. I searched frantically, but he was nowhere to be found. Days turned into a blur. I was rescued, but my mind was consumed with worry for Yossi. I couldn't shake the image of him alone in the jungle, facing whatever challenges lay ahead. I heard he was struggling with hunger, battling insects, and even hallucinating. Can you imagine? Alone, with nothing but your thoughts and the sounds of the jungle? 14 days passed. 14 days of uncertainty. I can only imagine what he must have been going through. I heard a plane once, and for a moment, hope surged through me. But then it vanished just like that. No one saw him. The rescuers started to lose hope, and I could see it in their eyes. They thought he might be dead, but I couldn't accept that. I couldn't let go of the idea that Yossi was still out there, fighting. I knew I had to do something, so I went back. I returned to the jungle, determined to find my friend. Every step I took felt heavy with doubt, but I pushed through. I had to believe he was still alive, that he was waiting for me to come and get him. The jungle is unforgiving, but I know Yossi. He's strong. He's resourceful. I can't imagine what he's been through, but I have to try. I have to believe that we can still make it out of this together. Every rustle in the leaves, every distant sound, I'm listening for him. I won't stop searching until I find him. I owe him that much.
I'm standing here, in this desolate place, feeling the weight of despair pressing down on me. My body is weak, and my mind is clouded. I thought I saw her, a wild woman, fierce and free, dancing through the trees. But as I reached out, she vanished like smoke, leaving me alone with my thoughts. It was just an illusion, a trick of my weary mind. But that moment sparked something in me. I can't give up. I have to keep moving. I remember the insects, the tiny creatures that scuttle around, relentless in their survival. They remind me that life persists, even in the harshest conditions. If they can keep going, so can I. I take a deep breath, feeling the resolve build within me. I need to reach the river. It's my lifeline, my hope. As I trek forward, every step is a battle. The terrain is unforgiving, and danger lurks around every corner. But I push through the pain, driven by the thought of water, of life. I pause for a moment, and with a sharp stone, I carve a Y into the ground. It's a mark of my existence, a message for Kevin. If he ever finds this place, I want him to know I'm still here, still fighting. Suddenly, out of the corner of my eye, I see a tortoise slowly making its way across my path. My instincts kick in, and I reach for a stone, ready to strike. Hunger gnaws at my insides, urging me to act. But then I stop. I look at this creature, moving with such purpose, and something shifts within me. I feel a pang of pity. This tortoise has its own struggles, its own journey. I lower my hand, letting the stone drop to the ground. I can't bring myself to take a life, even for my own survival. Instead, I watch as it continues on its way, a reminder that we all have our battles to fight. I realize that I have a choice. I can choose to be a part of this world, to respect it, even in my darkest moments. With renewed determination, I turn back to my path. The river is still out there, and I will reach it. I will survive. I will write my story, and it will not end here.
Night falls, and the world around me fades into darkness. I can feel the weight of exhaustion pressing down on me. Each breath a struggle. I'm unsure, and I've reached a point where my body feels like a heavy stone, anchored to this unforgiving ground. I thought I could push through, but the strength is drained from my limbs. I look around, hoping for a sign, a glimmer of hope, but all I see is the vast emptiness of the night. I can't help but think about how I ended up here. The choices I made, the paths I took, and now it feels like they've led me to this moment. Alone, vulnerable. I thought I was stronger than this. I thought I could fight against the odds. But as the darkness envelopes me, I realize that sometimes survival isn't just about physical strength. It's about the will to keep going, and right now, that will is slipping away. In this confusion, I close my eyes, surrendering to the fatigue. I drift into a restless sleep, haunted by thoughts of what could have been. Morning comes, but it feels like a cruel joke. I wake up to the sound of rustling leaves, the chirping of birds, and the distant rush of the river. I open my eyes, and for a moment, I feel a flicker of hope. Maybe today will be different. Maybe someone will find me. But then I remember Kevin, my friend. He's been searching for me, and I can only imagine the worry etched on his face. I wish I could tell him I'm here, that I'm still fighting. I can almost see him, scanning the area, looking for any sign of me. I can picture him following the riverbank, calling my name, desperation creeping into his voice. I want to scream, to wave my arms, but the energy just isn't there. I think about how he must feel, searching tirelessly, only to come up empty-handed. The thought of him leaving without knowing where I am, without knowing if I'm okay, it gnaws at me. I wish I could reassure him, tell him that I'm still alive, that I'm still holding on. But the reality is harsh. I can feel the weight of hopelessness creeping in, and it's suffocating. As the sun rises higher, casting light on the world, I realize that I might not make it. I might not see Kevin again. The thought is unbearable, but I have to face it. I have to accept that sometimes, despite our best efforts, things don't go as planned. I close my eyes again, letting the warmth of the sun wash over me, hoping that somehow, some way, Kevin will find me. But deep down, I know that the odds are stacked against me. And as the day unfolds, I can only wait, trapped in this limbo between hope and despair.
The generator roared to life, and the vibrations rattled through me like a jolt of electricity. I could barely hear my own thoughts over the cacophony of the waves crashing against the hull and the relentless hum of the engine. I called out for Kevin, my voice strained and desperate, but it was swallowed by the chaos around us. Each shout felt like a futile attempt to pierce through the noise, a last-ditch effort to reach him before it was too late. I could see him, just a silhouette against the fading light, so close yet impossibly far. My heart raced as I watched him scanning the shoreline, searching for me, for any sign that I was still here. But the sound of the boat was relentless, drowning out my cries, and with every passing second, my hope dwindled. It felt like fate was playing a cruel game, teasing us with proximity while keeping us apart. In that moment, I thought about everything that had led us here, the adventures we had shared, the laughter echoing through the trees, the plans we made for the future. It all felt so fragile now, like a delicate glass sculpture teetering on the edge of a table. I wanted to scream, to make him understand that I was still fighting, that I wasn't giving up. But the noise was a wall, and I was trapped on one side, while he stood on the other, oblivious to my struggle. I could see the jungle behind him, the last remnants of our shared experiences, the place where we had forged our friendship. It was a bittersweet reminder of what we had and what was slipping away. I thought about the times we had explored those woods, the secrets we had uncovered, and the bond we had built. Now, it felt like all of that was fading into the background, overshadowed by the roar of the engine and the relentless waves. Then, in a moment that felt suspended in time, Kevin turned. His eyes locked onto mine, and for a heartbeat, everything else faded away. The noise, the chaos, the uncertainty, it all vanished. It was just us, connected by an invisible thread that stretched across the distance. I saw the recognition in his eyes, the understanding that something was wrong. I wanted to reach out, to bridge the gap between us, but the generator's roar surged back, and I felt the weight of despair settle in my chest. I could see him moving, his expression shifting from confusion to determination. I knew he wouldn't give up on me, not now. But as the boat began to pull away, I felt the distance growing, the space between us expanding like an insurmountable chasm. I wanted to scream, to tell him to come back, to fight through the noise and the waves, but all I could do was watch as he faded into the shadows of the jungle. In that moment, I realized that sometimes, no matter how close we are to someone, circumstances can tear us apart. It's a harsh truth, but it's one that we have to face. I held on to the hope that he would find a way back, that fate would turn in our favor. But as the generator roared on, I felt the weight of uncertainty pressing down on me, and I knew that I had to hold on to that hope with everything I had left. If you enjoy what you see, hit that subscribe button and join our community. Don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss an update. Your support means the world and helps us create even more amazing content for you.